Oh, excuse me. I always get a little extra nervous when I go to start streams, so my cough acts up a little bit. But good morning. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate everyone being here today, as always. Um, Really quick little plug before we start. If you like what I do, feel free to follow me on YouTube, which is where you're most likely hearing this message. It helps out a lot. And if you'd like to watch me live, feel free to come over to Twitch, where if you're here, I would love to have your follow. I do this for fun, so it's great to have people that want to hang out with me during the day. And if you're having trouble finding me online in either location, by all means, just join the Discord and let me know. You can also leave a comment on the YouTube video if that's easier for you, and I can try my best to stream at a time that works better for you. I have a very flexible schedule, so it's not really a big problem for me, one way or another. I try and be available. Now, having said all that, let's jump right into the gameplay. I haven't done this since last week, so I don't 100% remember where we left off, but I'm pretty sure we'd just gotten about 2/3 of the iron factory going. We do need to set up some more of it, though. Because right now I have it constructing things, but I don't have a place for all of those things to be stored. And then on top of that, I'm not at optimal production. So I'm going to need to start getting some more of these up and running. I should check on my fuel supply too. I really do need to get to coal as soon as possible, coal power, because I'm going to need to stop having to manually supply this with fodder. Yeah, see, I'm already at the 31. How's my supply of things to be made? Completely out. Okay. In that case, we're going to start out by going to cut down some more trees. And then we'll come back and work on that after. How much fuel do I have? I need solid biofuel, I believe. I got a lot. I'm good. Thankfully, there is a forest here that I can completely shred to pieces, so we're going to be doing that. Environmental conservation. What's that? Is it tasty? I don't think it is. I feel like this screen shake when you cut down trees is new, and I still like it. It gives impact to when you cut things down. It's pretty cool. Let's see. There's not really much to say while I'm cutting things down, unfortunately. It really is just a matter of resource collection. But I think among the things that I want and need to do today, we're going to have to start off with first finishing the optimization of that iron production. Because that's going to be super important in terms of scaling up. I also want to start prepping for some copper production. Not just for wire, but I also need to prepare for copper pipes for when we do get to the coal stage, since I'll need water pumps. Having said that, let's see. I'll have to most likely establish the space elevator, which means that might be what we prioritize today. And I think I'd also like to start looking for some things for the ma'am, the object researcher. Oh, that's not a tree. My bad. Because I am going to need to start researching things in order to create advanced technologies, especially with some of the, not quartz, but there's like a material that's like gold, it's not electrum, that you can find on this planet. And it helps out a lot with some of the power poles that I need to make. I think probably by the end of today or sometime about mid-game tomorrow, we should have coal power starting, which will be great. Also, what is down here? I don't know. I need V. Is it V? C? V? I don't need to scan for iron ore. I'm just trying to remember what this is. I guess this is all iron. Okay. Fair enough. I'm kind of sad that I can't pick up flowers anymore. That used to be a good source of biomass. They weren't good biomass. They just were a good source of it. Okay, grab them barrel nuts. Like a lot of barrel nuts, apparently. And let's see, which one is this? Is this logs? This is wood. Okay. So, place those in there. That should last me for a while. And in here, I need the green biomass, the leaves. Resort that. Excellent. Okay, good. I just needed to make sure I wasn't going to run out. And I mean, I've got a good supply of solid biofuel. I'm not super concerned with only 3 generators. But as I start scaling up, it is going to be important to have a reserve of fuel. Because the new power generation is going to need to be fed up to max. So, let's see where we were. Over here we've got the iron ingots being made, and I think here as well. These ones aren't in use yet. Let's head up. I have to take stock of what we're doing and where everything is at the moment. We've got iron ingots being processed into iron plates at 30 per minute, which I think is exactly what that's pulling out, is 30 per minute. And then over here, 15 per minute. So, do I have... Up on the second level... Oh, right, because this is coming downwards. Okay. The iron ingots are splitting up. Just gonna go up again, because I need to reassess what's going on. This is maxed out. Okay, good. And then it's coming out, going down the conveyor, and back to the merger. Which means that I am creating the full 60 per, or full 30 per minute that this one machine is going to provide. So after that, I need another machine that's going to produce screws, right? I'm pretty sure that's the next step, is screws. I need to build a crafting bench. Nice and easy here. just so I can see. Yeah, because I need screws and I'll need a lot of reinforced iron plates. And the reinforced iron plates come from 12 screws, which are produced from 40, 12, 3 bars, 3 iron rods. Okay. I still need to give space for expansion because we're going to go from this kind of meager beginning, which is where I've left all this room for expansion, into a much higher production rate as we get better miners, and maybe as we boost them as well. You can see these little power slugs that we'll need to research eventually. So let's start out by doing this. Why aren't I in Zoop mode? That's a good question. Like that? There we go. Okay. So I think I might want to spread this out another, let's say 3 sections here. Yeah, that'll probably be good. 1, 2, and 3. This is the issue with building out this direction, is unfortunately we're going to run into all this pollution, all this poison really quick. Which means I'm going to need to change the shape of my factory. It's not an immediate concern, but it is going to happen sooner rather than later, unfortunately. Now, right now we've got this coming in, and I need a storage bin for it. Storage container. Right about there. Good. Throw you in. And that'll get those machines processing. Which means I should probably also put the plates at about the same slot. I can just do this. There we are. I think that's right. Nope, it's too far over that way. There, that's right. So we'll get these plates coming out into this conveyor belt here. And really I'm just kind of optimizing this specifically for creating these advanced plates. The refined iron plates. And then everything else over there can be used to expand it. Because I do have a lot more of these ready to go. Which is not good. Not great, considering I've got this conveyor belt here. But I should be able to still have room to run a conveyor belt straight through the middle. Which is good. That'll be fine. Everything's running, yes. Good. Okay. Next up, I'll need a splitter for this. Because I've got 30, I believe 30 of these coming through per minute. 15 and... no, I have 30 being consumed. Yeah, and 15 per minute per machine, so 30 coming out as well. And again, if I'm going to make, oops, screws, they'll consume, how many per minute? 40 per minute. Well, it'll produce 40 per minute, but really they're only going to take, how many? I guess 4 iron rods? No, 10 iron rods per minute. So I could set up for 3 machines, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't think I want that many screws per minute. Then again, it means each operation with 3 machines would produce exactly 12 per second, or 120 per minute, which would be good because this iron plate I'd be able to produce 10 per minute with. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to need 3 more of these major fabricators to deal with all of the items that are going to need to be made. That's okay. So did I even need this then? I feel like I didn't. We're going to stop these from coming out. Delete this. And we're going to have 3 construction machines here. That should work. So production, we're going to put the constructor. Right about there, I believe. Good. And then right about here, it should be next to it. What am I missing? Oh, the plates. Of course I'm missing the plates. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 2 more at least. 1, 2, 3. Good. 1, 2, 3. Good. Hey, Doug, welcome in. How you doing? I didn't expect to see you today. I assumed you would be in bed already, but then again, it is the weekend. There we go. And put this one... Oh, I'm missing more cables too. Doing good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing alright. I don't know if you saw on... Oh, wait. Can you get back on Discord now that you have your PC? Or now that you have your computer? Ah, gotcha. I'm just asking because I don't know if you saw. I had a bit of a... Cool. I don't know if you saw, I had a bit of a terrifying experience this morning. I woke up and I looked at my clock and I was like, oh crap! It's after 11. I'm late for my stream. And then I got on and I apologized for being late and realized I'm not actually set to stream for another while. It was like 2 hours early. It was a bit of a panic moment, but I made it through. We're good. I only felt a little bit dumb. So what are your plans for the weekend, Doug? You doing anything fun? Anything interesting, exciting, maniacal, devious? Splitter, here we go. I'm getting paid to draw people's art homework. That's interesting. I am kind of surprised that you won't get caught out for that. Well, that's cool. I mean, hopefully it's good money too. Drawing is not exactly a small amount of time investment. What are you going to be drawing? Like, is it a complex thing? Is it a simple thing? This. I'm getting paid like $10 per person, and I'm just drawing some comics. Okay, cool. Cool. Hopefully you don't get caught. Art is one of those things that's usually subjective enough that I'd be concerned people would be like, you didn't draw this. I remember one time in high school Spanish class, actually, I didn't do the like vocabulary book that we had to make ourselves for it. So I copied my friends and I basically just took exactly what my friend did. He gave me a copy of it on the computer, and then I changed a few things, including adding in mistakes. And even then, I still got caught out. My teacher was way too good at spotting fraud like that. I didn't really care about Spanish class. I took it once and then didn't try again. Which is kind of surprising considering how much time and effort I put into learning languages. I guess I don't really, but it is kind of surprising considering how much I like learning languages. That's a better way to put it. I didn't get punished, but I didn't get marks for it either. I don't like that there. Like, I couldn't be graded on homework that I didn't do, right? So I think that was the extent of it, really. Up. I didn't like doing that. I don't like cheating homework. Or I don't like cheating anything, really. Because my school just puts in a little mark, but my parents couldn't be bothered to check the school app, so it's chill. Fair enough. Like I said, if you feel like you can get away with it, I don't care. I would be concerned because I know my art style is fairly distinct. So I don't know that the teacher wouldn't be able to recognize it. And then if I lost the marks for that anyway, or if the people that paid me lost the marks for that, I don't know that they would be too happy. I would have to have some sort of reference for how they would draw things so that I could do things in their style, or at least try to. And then you could get away with it not being a good day or being lazy or whatever, but I couldn't just draw whatever I wanted without thinking about it. I can't really put this here, can I? I mean, I can. But 120 of these are about to be coming out of here. That's okay. They're the ones who asked me to draw for them, so if they aren't happy, it's their issue. Fair enough. That is a very fair statement. I would think exactly the same way. Although I might have warned them if I had thought about it beforehand. Like, you understand that I'm not responsible if she catches you, right? But outside of that, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, if they're happy to take the risk, why not? And it's not exactly as if this is something important that will impact their future careers or the safety of other people. It's like, okay, so you didn't draw your comic strip, big whoop, right? It's not like you're cheating on something major for doctors. I was actually a very headstrong child, so when it came to things like homework, I didn't do it an awful lot, and even if I did, or even if I didn't do it, I'd just own up to it. They'd try and collect the homework and I'd be like, yeah, I didn't do that. And I'd just take the loss of points and make it up on tests. It was maybe not the best way to do things, but it worked for me. It got me through school without too much trouble. Or at least not trouble that my parents cared about. Their policy was always, as long as you don't fail, we don't care. And since I never caused any trouble aside from just being honest about not doing homework, the teachers didn't care too much either. I didn't get the points for it, but I also didn't get in too much trouble for it. Although, there was a time when they did care. Back in elementary school, they were trying to establish good habits for homework with us. And so we'd have to write down what our schedules were in our agendas, and then our parents would have to initial it, and they would check it the next day. But I, even at that age, thought that was dumb, so I'd just never tell my mom that she had to initial it. I'd forge her signature or forge her initials. And then one time I got caught. Yeah. Oh, you did that too? That's funny. Yeah, my mom was not too happy about me for doing it, but I don't think I stopped, to be honest, because I honestly did not care. Alright, we've got those going. Let's see about going down to start up the next section. I did that in front of the teachers in the middle of class, and the teachers didn't give a crap. It was very fun. Fair enough. Fair enough, really. Personal storage box, the ma'am. I don't need that right now. I want the assembler. That's what I need. Which is going to be some copper as well. Okay. Yeah, that won't be too bad. I am going to just do these by hand for now still, though. I need 200 of them. I was not. You were 2 minutes early. I'm going to copy Gandalf. A wizard arrives precisely when he intends to. How did your week go, by the way? It seemed like Thursday, when you were busy with sports stuff, went well, which is good. Yeah. You mentioned you're getting along well with your friends, which is awesome. How has that been going? Like, have you gone out to do anything fun outside of school? I never did. Like, ever. My school friends were strictly for school. Oh, nice. I'm glad to hear that. As I said, I kind of kept my friends strictly for school, So the only things that I do with them really are, or were, I should say, this is many years ago now, to play football with them at lunch, which the school was not super happy with us about because we'd be playing full contact football and none of us wore any safety gear. And I mean American football, by the way, not football, which is soccer, which the English don't like to say is soccer, even though they were the ones that coined the term. No. Football not with a soccer ball, but with the American style football. The one that's brown and gets thrown with your hands. So we were playing full contact with that. That is kind of weird, yeah. Although, in Japanese, they call it amefuto, or American football. So, ame, which is the short for America, and then foot, which is short for football. I do like the way they tend to condense their words into smaller versions. And then they still call soccer soccer, which is still funny. Anyway, we'd be doing that at lunchtime for like an hour and just beating the crap out of each other by accident. Because we would go full force with those tackles. There were a couple of times, I remember, once in particular, I had... Oh, I'm out of copper. There was once in particular where we were playing, and it was like spring, or maybe it was towards fall. I don't remember exactly. But the field, the grass field that we were playing on, wasn't free from ice, but it was in kind of a rough shape because the grass was still poking through. So the ice was very, very jagged in the parts where it couldn't freeze. And I took someone down with a tackle, and I ended up getting my hand shredded by the ice on the ground. I had to go into the office and get like probably 12 to 18 bandages. Whoop! I fell. Yeah. My hand was pretty sore for a couple of days. I was lucky that it was my left hand that got all chewed up. But the school wouldn't even lend us a football to play with if we forgot ours or it broke or whoever had it was sick that day. Because they didn't want to run the liability risk of somebody getting hurt with their equipment. Which was kind of hilarious, but very understandable, to be honest. Would you cut that out? You dum-dum. There, that's what you get. There's something different about running around and hurting yourself in fall. I don't know why, but the smell and the feeling just hits different. That's true. It's also nicer in the fall. Armadillo ate too many burgers, yeah. I do think it's nicer in the fall than in the spring, too. Because in the spring, everything is melting, so the ground takes on that weird kind of moldy smell. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like, not moldy, but stale, I guess? Because the ground has been covered for so long that it's releasing weird gases. Maybe I'm just nuts, but it always smelled funny to me when you play in the fall. Or play in the spring, I mean. Where did that piece of meat go? Oh well. Yeah, the ground is all kind of mushy, which isn't fun. Because that's the other thing, when you're playing outside in fall, the ground is wet, but it's cold enough that it's like frozen, so the ground is nice and hard too. But in spring, it's all just mush. I don't know, it's off-gassing from being underneath snow all winter. It's probably some rotting, it's probably some decay, it's probably some mulching that's been going on from worms underneath the snow. It just smells funny. There might have been like molds or moss that have been growing underneath. I think it's a very reasonable thing to say. Right, this is where I was going. In here. I didn't think it was that weird anyway. Have you been doing any reading lately, Doug? Any reading or playing any fun games? There's just nitrogen gas leaking from the ground in spring, completely normal. I mean, realistically, I think it's less nitrogen and more like methane. At least I'd imagine so. Because methane is the kind of thing that you get when stuff ferments. I've been drawing anatomy a lot more. That's cool. Have you been using anatomical textbooks or like wooden figures, or how have you been making that happen? Sorry. I have one of those wooden ball joint dolls for positioning. But when it came to anatomy, I mean, I went into a medical course, so I'd practice drawing complete joints of the hand and things. I basically just draw a torso, then the limbs, etc. in a basic pose, and I find a reference and the limbs accordingly. Fair enough. If you ever get the chance, it's actually really interesting to do what I was just describing, where you've got especially the bones of the hand, like the wrist in the hand, because you wouldn't think so, but I think there's about 13 to 15 different small bones in your wrist that all form and interact in different ways. It was a really interesting experience to draw them together, because you have to get everything in the right proportions to have it look right. That's fair. Sorry, I was having fun bashing on that. Yeah, I think it was 13 to 15. Because there should have been at least 8, and then I think there were 3 on each wing? I don't remember exactly anymore. Let me look that up real quick, because now I'm curious. How many bones in wrist? So 8 carpal bones arranged in rows of 2, or arranged in rows of 4, and then 5 metacarpals in the hand. Right, okay. So the wrist itself is the 8, and then I was adding in the extra 5 for the fingers. But either way, it's pretty surprising how they all have to fit together and the different shapes that they need to take. It's cool. It is a worthwhile endeavor to look up at some point. Yeah. Okay, I gotta go get more plates and some screws. Sure. let's hear the fun fact about worms. If you're going to tell me that you can cut them into multiple pieces and they'll all live, I knew that. Where is... Here we go. Whee! Why aren't you working? Did I not give you power? Oh, I didn't give you power. No wonder. Okay, let's put you over here-ish. What am I missing? Wire. There's this thing called worm suicide where the worm feels the ground wet, so they go up to the surface to breathe, but then the sun is out and the ground is too hard to dig back into, so they just dry up. Oh, that's sad. I assumed they would have gotten eaten by birds. Because if they're just kind of wriggling around on the ground... I really assumed they'd be picked off by a predator of some sort. What am I missing for this? Copper wire, right. Have you ever seen the comparison of worms trying to break down different types of material? I saw a video a while back of 3 like plexiglass containers with different types of material put in them and showing how effective the worms were at breaking it down. And the garden stuff disappeared almost instantly, but the cardboard and paper was really hard for them to get through and digest. Which, I mean, it makes sense, but it was interesting to see nonetheless. They absolutely could do it, it was just very difficult. There we go. So I need 500 of these suckers. Oh, I had 500. I'm not sure how I had 500, but I did. And I need more plates, too. Yeah, that'll be good. I wonder why the human has an easier time digging through dirt than cardboard. I wonder. Well, it's not just digging through, right? Like, it's digesting, it's processing it. Most of the soil that we use is actually just worm poop. Worm poop and minerals! And there we go.
Milestone reached. The assembler can produce more
Word
complex
doo-doo.
parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project parts must be delivered to the space elevator. By completing your contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note, humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
Oh, Ada. How sassy. It depends on the day. I've actually had a really sore throat all morning. GLaDOS? Yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised it does. the sassy robot is very common as a trope and one that's appreciated. Let's put these in here. And then I think probably put this not this way. Fatty, no parents, yeah. I remember when the news was trying to make that a story. So they found this they found this one family where the father was playing Portal with his adopted daughter, and so Wesley's making fun of Chell, I think that's her name, and they have the news reporter interviewing the family, and they're like, frankly, we were shocked that our adopted daughter would hear that. Like, what, did she not know she was adopted? She's not fat. She understands that the game is talking about the character, not you. Silly things. At least I hope she understands that, really. Production. I need an assembler, which is 8 of those plates and 2... Oops. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I couldn't believe they did that. But then again, the media is not exactly known for being smart. They like to cause outrage because that's what gives them the views. I remember one time, for example, they were doing an episode on manga and anime and trying to portray it as this harmful, perverse thing. And to try and emphasize their point, they ended up taking a cover of a manga, which was girls in their school uniforms, fully dressed, with like blood or candle splatter on their uniforms, and they blurred out the cover to make it seem like something incredibly lewd. And it was so ridiculously disingenuous. Yeah. It was so frustrating, especially as someone that likes manga and anime. It's like, why would you do that? Hey, Jacob, welcome in, buddy. How you doing today? Thank you for joining, as always. Hey, man, people like what they're gonna like. I thought it was weird too, but yeah, people are gonna like what they're gonna like. Yeah, we were talking about how the media did this thing. Let me correct this. So we were talking about how Ada, the voice in this game, sounds like GLaDOS vaguely, and then we got onto the subject of Wesley from Portal 2 talking about how he was insulting the main character and cries out, fatty, no parents, fatty, and then how there was a news report that I remember seeing about a family that was suddenly shocked that their adopted daughter was hearing all these things about how being adopted was bad and yada yada yada, right? And then I got onto the subject of how media in general is so disingenuous because it tries to get clicks and views and stay relevant that they try and manufacture outrage, complete with, and this is where we got into the weeb part of things, there was this one time in particular where I remember they were trying to portray anime and manga as such an awful thing that they took a completely normal cover of a manga where it was 2 girls like hugging each other in fear because it was a tense manga cover, and there was like blood spatter or candle drops on them, whatever, and the media decided to blur out the cover to make it look like they were naked on there, and it was something so inappropriate they couldn't show it on TV. And that was the point you came in at. Let's go right over here. So, technically weaving it up, technically not weaving it up. This way. Anyway, how's your day going? Hopefully well. Okay, hear me out on this one. There's a literal anime where big booty... Yes, I know that one. I've seen that one. Shut up, don't judge me. I think it was called Keijo. To be fair, I didn't watch all of it. I was just curious, okay? I watch lots of things, alright? Don't judge me. Don't you judge me! Azumanga Daio? Yeah. What was wrong with Azumanga? I don't know. I didn't actually read or watch that one. I'm just wondering. I need reinforced plates. Oh! Oh, do I know that one? I think I've seen it used as the butt of a joke, but I don't know. Ah, yeah. Eh. People are weird. But, I mean, sometimes you do weird things for the sake of a joke or for the sake of a story. It's like, to the same effect, it's like when protagonists decide to try and spy on girls in hot springs or whatever, and then they get their just comeuppance when they're beaten to crap. Like, it's for the sake of the joke. It's not necessarily to encourage that kind of behavior. So in a manga where it's not treated as a good thing, I don't really care. I think it can be used in a funny way, but it's definitely not a good thing. I just don't think you should judge people based on the content of series like that. Is this not powered? Otherwise, we get to start judging people for a lot of other things they may not like the thought of being judged on. I should extend that out a little bit, I think. Like, I remember not that long ago, there was this whole section in a bookstore for women's novels, and the section was titled, Hear Me Out. And it's just about women in relationships with actual monsters. And it's all raunchy novels with those actual creatures and monsters. Fair enough. I just know that when it comes to matters of taste, people are different, people are weird, and so long as people aren't getting harmed, I think it's not a great idea to judge based on them. Like, for example, Grim Curio, who comes to hang out for a while, or every once in a while, she plays horror games, or like creepy, unsettling games that I couldn't play. I don't judge her for it. I can't play them. Maybe, but you can't justify that. You can't prove that. I'm just saying, hobbies and interests have to be excluded from judgment as long as they don't harm anyone. I think that's a fair thing to say. What am I doing? Right, this came back. I need to send up another one. Oops. Field research, jump heads, logistics mark 2. I need this. Yes, I do need this. Okay. Put these in. Okay, so all of Kingdom Hearts for 40 buckaroos. Is it worth it? Describe all of Kingdom Hearts. Yes, Jacob is an excellent cook. So is it Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3? Or is it 1, 2, 3 plus Dream Drop Distance plus the one for PSP plus the one Chain of Memories plus yada yada? You did remember him. Good job. Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 remix with 2.8 final chapter and Kingdom Hearts 3. That's not bad, actually. For 40 bucks, that's pretty worth it. At least I think so. Because I had a good amount of fun with all of those games, and they will take you probably more than 40 hours each, which means $1 an hour for entertainment. Alright, Doug. Since Rumor Mill is kicking off for the Game Awards, people say Kingdom Hearts 4 will be announced at the Game Awards. Maybe. I haven't actually... Wait, did I play... I have Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't actually played more than the first world, though. I was very disappointed with Disney's attitude towards a lot of things, so I kind of lost my steam for it for a while. And by for a while, I mean over the last 4, 5, maybe 6 years since I got it. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 has been out for a long time now. I needed to go back up there and grab those. I don't know why I didn't. For whatever reason, I just decided to stop here. Disney is in deep doo-doo anyways. They messed up the TV deal with Google, and now YouTube dealings with ABC-owned channels are now under risk of closure. I believe it. I do believe it. Disney has been a little nuts for quite a while. They have not been doing good things. How many of these is going to need? 6. 30 per minute? Yep. You go in... Actually, how many connections is here? 3. I'm going to have to put you a little bit ahead. Right about here, probably. And then I'll power you. Suffice it to say, I'm not surprised they're in doo-doo. That's the best way I can put that. Oh, probably because Disney's cash cow, Japan, is thinking of focusing on Ghibli and Nintendo parks for tourism. Disney's bleeding money right now. Yeah. Well, they really gave up on the thing that made them amazing. Like, they don't... people like them for, like, timeless stories and good animation and, like, integrity for their family-friendly content. And then they're like, no, we're not going to make anything new or anything along those lines unless it's pushing an agenda. And on top of that, we're also going to stop our animation. So we're going to be just retelling old stories. That's all we're going to be doing, is retelling old stories with worse graphics, because everybody's just going to be live action. Princess and the Frog, did they do that live action as well? Where does this need to go? Here, okay. Or are you talking about the Princess and the Frog animated one? Because that was the one with Tiana, I think. If I'm remembering correctly, I think that was Tiana. Question mark. I haven't watched for quite a while, so I can't say for sure anymore. Let's do like 45 of these. There we go. I think the last one that I really liked was... Yeah, okay. The hand-drawn animation. I didn't watch that one, but I have heard it was pretty good. Because I think it was the... Yeah, Louisiana Voodoo guy creeped me out, so I didn't watch it because of him. Why did I have this so far back? Shouldn't it have been just like here? I think that's where it's supposed to go. But that's why I'm not super familiar with it. It reminds me of Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Wouldn't you know it? Haven't watched that one either. Although I will say this, I did play that level in Kingdom Hearts, and it was not so bad. I still don't think I'd enjoy the movie, but I did play that part of the game. Oh, that was why I was doing that. That's right. Because I need you to come out here. And then I need this conveyor splitter. I think the last one that I really liked from Disney, like, that I really actually enjoyed after watching, was probably Tangled. I really liked Tangled. With Rapunzel. Although, the one that I'm still sad doesn't get enough attention is Treasure Planet. It was so good, and they just didn't advertise it, so people missed out on it, and it made me sad. Power, here we go, biomass burner. Take these. Like, it was so good. And let's flip this. Oh, this one isn't even on, is it? Let's turn that one on. There we go. But let's see. Capacity went up. Yeah, I'm not making more at the moment, so that should be okay. There was this other one that I Oh, what was it called? Um, it wasn't made by Disney, but it was really entertaining. Titan AE. That's what it was called. Titan After Earth. I don't know if you ever watched that one. I enjoyed it greatly. I think I actually have the DVD too. But it wasn't. I don't think it was made by Disney. I'm actually really curious now. Hold on. Titan AE. It was back in 2000. And it was Don Bluth. No wonder. Don Bluth did amazing work. I don't know if you've ever had the chance to see it. If you haven't, I recommend it. It's pretty cool. I liked it a lot. Alright, let's see here. I think this is still underperforming per operation because it's not getting enough screws. Oh, good, good, good. Jacob has seen that. I really like Titan AE. I think it was awesome. There was a re-release? Oh, I didn't know that. I would have wanted to go. Damn. I guess that's the problem with only really watching anime. I never see commercials for things like that anymore. I still have the original DVD that I bought back around the 2000s. I really enjoyed it. I do kind of want to go back and watch some of the other ones that I haven't seen for a while, but they were also childhood classic type movies like Happy Feet or the Pebble and the Penguin. That was another one. They did a re-performance of the soundtrack with the New York Philharmonic. That's cool. Have you ever had the chance to actually watch to actually go to an orchestra? It is such an experience. I had never gone before, but I got to go once with my job. Probably about 6 years ago now. No, not 6. 4. Well, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, yeah. I got to go once. And I loved it. It was so cool. Nice. I am jealous of you. I've only been able to go once. But it's such an amazing experience. The way the instruments reach you all the way, no matter where you are. The way the hall is designed. The entire atmosphere. The one we saw was music of the movies. And we didn't have to pay full price for the performance. They did like a discounted thing for tickets during the day where you could go and listen to them play, but it was still just the warm-ups. So sometimes they'd have to rehearse certain parts, but we'd get to go through the entire set that they were going to perform. So it was music of the movies. And we got to hear them perform like Star Wars and Indiana Jones and Superman and Vivaldi's Four Seasons Concerto was great. Love Me the Winter #4 and Summer #2. That's fair. That's fair. I would love to hear that live as well, but it is very difficult for me to go places like that with my cough. I can't imagine how off-putting it would be. I don't think I can really ever go again. But getting to go once was such an amazing thing. I'm a washed-up guitar dude and cello player. That's cool. I think I mentioned this. My parents got me a guitar when I was a teenager, hoping that I would listen or learn from it, but I couldn't, or rather I didn't keep up with it. I still, every once in a while, go back to try, but I'm not musically inclined, shall we say. The one that I think I would have kept up with was the violin, because I wanted to play that since I was a kid. The only issue was I couldn't keep practicing because I broke my finger. And that was super disappointing for me. Are you keeping up with this? I think you are keeping up with it, just barely. Oh yeah, because 60 per minute, that's right. Okay, cool. Which means I could actually split this again. I just need to have another splitter here. And then I could have another one producing over here. And then I could get 10 per minute. I might do that, to be honest. It will require more power, though, to get that running. And I don't want to invest in that power quite yet. It's almost not too crazy to think Netflix and Disney will consolidate in 2027. I kind of wonder. Because doesn't Apple technically own Netflix? Like it is, or was it Amazon that owns Netflix? I think Ubisoft going private is the only way they can actually function. They got bought out by Tencent recently, didn't they? Amazon runs the hardware for Netflix. Got it. I just remember hearing somewhere that Netflix... excuse me. That Netflix, as big as it is, has never actually turned a profit. I don't know if that's true or how long ago that it was true, but it seems that was something in my mind as far as what I heard. So Ubisoft is licensing Assassin's Creed franchise to Tencent by forming a partnered subsidiary. Okay. I thought Tencent just completely bought them out, which would have been for the best, I think. I'm shocked I can see between these cracks. They did have that major flop with Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm surprised they can keep their head above water right now, to be honest. Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows and their Star Wars Outlaws game also flopped pretty hard, right? At least if I recall correctly. Shadows didn't flop too hard, but it's the R6 Siege, the Rainbow Six Siege, really. Really? I thought Shadows flopped tremendously in terms of just sheer loss based on the number of units sold. Also, frankly, I'm surprised they're not sued into oblivion for improper usage of... They don't report digital and sold very well on PlayStation. Fair enough. I'm just surprised they're not getting sued into oblivion because they used, like, all of those religious landmarks that weren't supposed to be used for commercial gain. And the Oda clan symbol, which they did not get permission to use. Among other things. Actually, there's this really funny YouTube video. I'm not sure if it's a series. I know it's a couple of videos that this guy did with his wife. And I'm not sure if it was the Japanese wife or it was the guy himself or maybe both. But at least one of them was drunk and reviewing the trailers and things before Assassin's Creed Shadows came out. And there was some very funny inconsistencies and weird things she was pointing out. Like, she was sharp as a tack. It was hilarious how poorly they had designed the game. I got a real good giggle out of it. Alright, we'll take all of these. And I can go send this off. If I find it, I'll put it in the memes channel on the Discord again, because it's worth a watch. They're not super long videos because they're just reviewing the trailers, but they talk about what's wrong with it and why, and the things that they messed up were so incredibly egregious. It was shocking. Like, actually shocking.
Milestone reached. Fix-It would like to remind you of your contractual obligation towards efficiency. Recreational use of belts and lifts does not count towards work hours and will put you on the list. Stay efficient, don't disappoint Fix-It.
Alright. So let's... I kind of want to up the output of these screws using the new belts. Kind of. I also don't know if I want to do that. How about the space elevator? Oh, that's not even hard. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to do, I think... maybe not first thing. Because I need to start getting copper produced as well, so I don't have to keep doing this manually. But I only have one source of it over there. You know what? Let's make some more. Do you drink soda or any carbonated beverage? I do, yes. Although I don't tend to drink them straight. So, for example... I'll get, because I have to watch my calories and things, I'll get a couple of different varieties, but I'll have a glass of water, and it's 90% water, and then the last like 10 to 20% I fill up with soda. And it's usually something like Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper or root beer. Sometimes I'll go different, like club soda, orange soda, that sort of thing. But I do water it down. I call it restaurant grade soda. How about you? I'm guessing you're asking because you wanted to discuss the sodas themselves? Bring that down to about 100 copper ingots, because I'm going to have to pick some more up soon. I'm currently shopping around for soda variety. Okay. My tastes will definitely be skewed then, because I like the ones with strong flavor. We do 0 sugar sodas in this house. Our current obsession is root beer and Dr. Pepper. See, I like that. That's good. I like Dr. Pepper and I like Mountain Dew because I do the watering down. They're things with such strong flavors that you don't need a lot of them to actually tinge the entire glass of water with the flavor that they are. So it's just a nice way to help control my calories and also not get bored of just drinking straight water all day, you know? Because I remember seeing a clip somewhere of this Canadian psychologist named Jordan Peterson, I believe. And he was talking about how he had to be on a very strict diet for his health for a while. And so it was basically just red meat and water. And how there were different ways you could drink water, and it became incredibly important to have those variations in order to not just go mad with it. So it was like ice water and cold water and room water and hot water, and you had to vary it, otherwise you'd go mad. And I'm like, I can understand that, because I go mad if I don't have a little bit of flavor variation. You know what I'd be interested in, though, is if I was like super serious about controlling my intake, would be one of those soda stream machines. I don't know if you've ever tried those or seen those. I need a lot more stuff. Okay. Like a lot more stuff. My production has to increase tremendously. The aftercare of cleaning the bottles. That's fair. That's fair. I haven't gotten a soda stream machine, but it seems like it would be interesting to have. That's the closest I can really say is interesting. Up there we go. I do like trying to make things myself, though. So one of the cool things that I did was I made spruce beer one time. I don't know if you've ever had spruce beer before or heard of it, but it's a very simple kind of soldier's ration from the, I think it was the 1800s. And the way that it's made is very, very simple. You just take white spruce needles and you put them into or you make a tea with them, basically. And then you add in maple syrup and you just let that ferment with some yeast. You're back again? Why are you back again, you butt? And it only takes a couple weeks, but it's pretty good. And the reason I brought that up was because I have to clean out the bottles for that too. And I understand how that's pretty annoying. I looked up for a while a brewing kit from this company called Mr. Beer, which I didn't invest in, but they used to have this thing called a drying tree, which was just this very specific bottle dryer. It was designed so that the bottles wouldn't clutter each other up or crowd each other out, but you could put them on top of these upward turned spikes around a central pole, and it would just let the water drain out as the bottles dried. It seemed like it would make cleaning a lot easier. They just stopped making it for whatever reason, so I didn't get to get one. Real shame, because I wanted one. About here. And about here, probably. Slicing the stuff down. Getting some wood. I wanted to try it, but I never knew I could. Okay, let's pick you up. My favorite way to use CO2 is making my own vanilla whipping cream. That sounds amazing. And putting that on peppermint mocha. That does sound like 12 kinds of amazing. I've been wanting to... How can I say this? So, I think we talked about primitive technology the other day, yes? And how... Actually, let me swap that. And how I really like the way he does things from scratch. I have an issue as far as... sorry, I gotta cut this down. I have an issue as far as things like SodaStream or reusable CO2 containers. Specifically because I don't want to have to keep paying for them. So... I really would like to learn how to produce CO2 reliably with things that I have around my house. And there are a couple of ways that I found I could do it. Like, for example, if I could use the eggshells, if I washed those and boiled them into acetate, I believe that it released CO2 gas. As well as... like carbon dioxide was produced from a baking soda and vinegar reaction. And I don't remember where I could get baking soda from. I think it was just slaked lime or something like that. Either way, like I want to try a lot of stuff, but I'm cheap. So I don't want to spend the money on the recurring investment. Going to a scuba gear shop to get CO2 tank and the SodaStream adapter is the most economical. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, what would they even use the CO2 tank for? Like, I'm actually really curious about that. What would the scuba shop use the CO2 for? Huh. It's a good question. That looks like a boss and I want to fight it, but it's not, so I'm going to leave it alone. Production miner. Here we go. This way. I scuba, but I don't use any CO2 tank for anything, so it must be special, or they just carry it since people want it. Well, so I've seen like diver's knives where in case of shark attacks, they actually do have a little CO2 container stored inside the blade, and the idea is you stab it into the shark that's attacking you, and you press the button, and then the CO2 releases and bursts the shark from the inside. But I can't see that being a regularly used enough item that they would actually keep some in store. It is, but I mean, it's either that or death. Like, we're not exactly moving at our highest rate when we're underwater. I did not hear about the bear attack epidemic in Japan. Holy crap, that's awful. Is it coming into cities or is it just in the mountains? The JSDF got deployed? Wow. That's awful. That is definitely news to me, and unhappy news at that. That's terrible. Okay, so not dead turns out deadly injuries but no death. Okay, that's better. Not great, but better. And it's all in rural prefectures. Okay. It makes sense, but it's still unfortunate. I wonder if they encroach too deep into the wildlife zones. It's possible. I mean, it may also be possible that people were getting a little too friendly or a little too comfortable with the wildlife in general. I know because I live in Canada and we've got a lot of forests here and a lot of wildlife as well. They specifically give us instructions to not feed the animals, not just because it might make them dependent, but because when wild animals get used to food like that, especially bears, they'll come into the city and start raiding trash cans looking for food and things. But they also get aggressive when they're hungry or when they're startled. Very true, very true. But when you're out driving on the road as a tourist and you're on vacation and you see like 3 baby cubs playing right alongside the road, some people have cuteness aggression and they're like, I'm not going to touch it, I'm just going to give it a snack. Right? Idiots. That is the only way I can really put that, is idiots. I wish people were smarter. They are sadly not likely to be smarter. I need more of these. Let's crack into another one of these. As Jimmy Carr once said, natural selection. Do we really need them? I mean, that's fair. You know, one time I heard another comedian, they said, we've become too complacent and too stupid as a species. I say we just take the warning labels off of things and let the human race sort itself out. And I'm like, you know what? That doesn't sound too bad some days. I don't have any more up there. Okay. We're gonna go... Yep. Balance is important. You know what? Maybe I can do this one instead. Yeah, this will work. There was one time, it was the stupidest thing, but there was one time where I was working a job and the lady next to me at this job, like a coworker, decided, or we were having a conversation, and I brought up a very valid observation, which was that I think as a species we were healthier before medical advancements, because all of the people with genetic conditions either didn't make it long enough to reproduce and pass those conditions on, or just wouldn't be viable mates and therefore wouldn't be able to breed and pass those on, right? And she decided to try and take that to such an extreme that she tried to pigeonhole me into saying that I was in favor of eugenics, of like killing people off. And I'm like, no, that's not what I said in any way, shape, or form. Making an objective statement of reality, or what I believe reality to be, is not the same as being for something like that. You know? It was shocking having my words twisted like that. I hadn't experienced it before. I don't remember how we got onto that subject now. I'm just talking. It is stream of consciousness as I'm trying to build things. But I do think it is a pretty fair observation, because, like, no heart problems if the kids with heart problems don't grow up, right? Not in favor of it, just a statement of observation. Yeah. Or like that lady from Parks and Rec, where Ron got the round desk he had to sit in the main office, and she's like, "Excuse me, did you know there's bacteria in your water? They said there was a sign at Ramsey Park saying don't drink the water, the sprinkler water, so I made sun tea with it and I got an infection." Like, what? I don't doubt people like that exist, and that's a terrible thing to say. What do we got here? Okay, good. That's enough power for that. When you can't draw the line between wondering if this is somebody's personal experience and just funny storytelling for the sake of a character they don't want you to like, that's either amazing writing or really, really sad. If they die, they die. What was... That was a quote from something, wasn't it? Like from a movie? If he dies, he dies. I just don't remember which one. I want to say it was a Schwarzenegger movie, but I don't think it was. Rocky. Oh, right. It was the Russian guy talking about the upcoming fight, right? I think so. I think that's what it was. Speaking of, I heard very interesting things about Rocky, or specifically about Sylvester Stallone, because apparently he was homeless when he wrote that. Like when he wrote Rocky, I think. If I'm remembering my story correctly, he was homeless when he wrote it, and he had actually just sold his dog as a way to make his last meal, but he wanted to be the lead actor in it, and a lot of the studios just weren't giving him a chance to do that. So he got into dire situations and had to sell his dog, and when he finally managed to get the part and like achieve what he wanted to achieve, the first thing he did was went out and bought his dog back. It was very heart-wrenching. The things you gotta do for your dreams. I could see how people would be a little concerned about letting him act like that, because I think the thing with his mouth is because of a stroke, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And strokes are no jokes. Organization... Logistics, here we go. Conveyor belts. I can't recall off the top of my head, but I think that's what it was. Or at least that's what I remember it being. Where is... Why is this so close? Oh, because I put it in the wrong spot, that's why. Here. There we go. And I'm out of metal plates. Okay. Well, that's why I have a crafting thing up here. Iron plates. Good. And where's this next conveyor belt? Here we go. Conveyor lift. Right about there. And I think this is a merger, right? Yeah, conveyor. Might be a splitter, actually. I don't remember. Not a big deal one way or another. This must be a merger. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate placement, come to think of it. No, I can still make it work. We're good. We're good. I need more of these. Oh no. I put that in the wrong spot. I'm dumb. There we go. If I'm slow to respond, I'm playing Arc Raiders, so I may blip in and out. No problem. I have heard an awful lot of people are taken with Arc Raiders right now. I like the concept of the PvE, not so much the PvP. Because I am no good at competitions with other people. That is right, yes. No, I have that too far over still. Okay. Right there. That's better. Okay. I may actually cut today's episode short anyway. I didn't realize how sore my throat was getting from having to talk this much every day. So I may end up taking tomorrow off as well. Which I think would probably be for the best, just because I'm on, like, basically every day of the week. And I like being on every day of the week. It's just, you know, a little rough sometimes. It is not easy on my body. But I'll play for another 15 minutes and then call it a day, because that'll be my 2-hour episode. And then if I'm smart, I might actually... No, I didn't do a break. I was going to say I might split this into 2 episodes, so when I upload them on YouTube, they're an hour each. But I didn't do like an outro or an intro again. So that'll just be jarring, and I don't want to go through extra work for it. I don't have good editing software. I have free editing software. Did I put this too close? I might have put this too close here. Or too far out, I mean. Yeah, I did. Okay, we're gonna change this real quick. Because I don't like that. I want you there. Yeah. Okay. Whee! Right about here? Yes. And then you come out and connect there. Perfect. And now that will actually give me a way through, which I will need. Probably another merger here, maybe. Not 100% sure. Not a hundo. Because this should be moving 60, right? I think. This is processing 30. No, this is processing 15 per minute. Oh well, that's still fine. Let's do... I'm not sure. I know I need to get this working so that I can process more plates. But getting everything sorted is the difficult part. You know what? I'm going to think on it and just call it a day now. It's 10 minutes earlier than I planned. But as I said, my throat is getting pretty sore. I'll probably take tomorrow off, as stated. And thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here. Jacob, always nice to have you. Hopefully, if Doug is still around, she hears me saying goodbye too. But yeah. Oh, Comb Q is here. Thank you for being here, Comb. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And yeah, see you next time. Monday, I should be back with more blueprints. Gotta save the game. And off we go.